Hi everyone, this is the story of Ananya and her family, a tale of love, betrayal, and struggle. But make sure to watch until the end because there's a twist you won't see coming. It's emotional, shocking, and worth your time. Don't miss it.
My name is Ananya, and I am 37 years old. I am married to a man named Jayant, who is 59 years old. We have been married for 19 years, and together we have 2 daughters. Our eldest daughter, Priya, is 18 years old, and our younger daughter, Mira, is just 1 year old. We live a simple life in a small apartment in Mumbai. Jayant works as a manager in a private firm, while I stay at home to take care of the house and our children. For years, everything seemed fine, but now my life has taken a heartbreaking turn, and I feel like I am trapped in a storm with no way out. One day, I discovered something that shattered my world. Jayant has a girlfriend. I was devastated and in complete shock. Jayant is my husband, the man I have spent nearly 2 decades with, the father of my children. I always believed he loved me, but now I am not so sure. When I confronted him, I asked, "Jayant, is this true? Do you have a girlfriend?" But instead of answering me, he became furious. He snapped, "You're creating problems out of nothing." But deep down, I knew the truth. I could sense that Jayant was hiding something, and I needed to find out more. One night, I decided to check Jayant's phone while he was asleep. As I was scrolling through his messages, he suddenly woke up and caught me. He was livid. "Why are you checking my phone? You have no right," he shouted. I was terrified, but my need for answers was stronger than my fear. Later, I secretly looked at his phone bill and noticed a strange number that he had been calling almost every day. My hands trembled as I dialed the number. A woman answered, and she confirmed my worst fears. She was Jayant's girlfriend. Her name was Ritu, and she was the same age as me. She was also married and had a daughter. When I confronted her, she coldly said, "If my husband finds out, it's not my problem." Her words felt like a knife to my heart. I tried to talk to Jayant again, hoping he would come clean and end this affair. I told him I knew the truth, but instead of apologizing, he became even angrier. "I'll end it when I want to. You can't tell me what to do," he said arrogantly. I broke down in tears. This wasn't the first time Jayant had cheated on me. He had done the same thing when Priya was born, and now with Mira, history was repeating itself. I felt like a fool for trusting him again. I am currently on leave from my job to take care of Mira, and I can't go back to work yet. We have a loan for our apartment, which is in my name, but we pay for it together. Soon, the child support payments will stop, and we will need Jayant's income to survive. Jayant knows this, and it makes him feel powerful. He thinks he can do whatever he wants without consequences. He even told me, "I can have another girlfriend if I want. You can't stop me." His words crushed me. He doesn't care about my feelings or the pain he is causing our family. Our older daughter, Priya, has tried to talk to him. She pleaded, "Papa, this is wrong. Please stop." But Jayant only lashed out at her, saying hurtful things that left her in tears. It breaks my heart to see my daughter suffering because of her father's actions. She doesn't smile as much as she used to, and she has withdrawn from her friends. She feels ashamed of her father and doesn't understand why he is doing this to our family. Mira, on the other hand, is too young to understand what's happening, but I worry about her future. I want her to grow up in a happy, loving family, but right now, our family is falling apart. One day, Jayant stopped coming home at night. He claimed he was working late, but I didn't believe him. He didn't call or message me, and I stayed up all night, worried and scared. When he finally returned in the morning, he was furious. "Stop asking me questions. I'm tired of this," he yelled. Another time, he told me he wanted to go on a trip. I asked if we could go together, but he refused, saying he wanted to go alone. I felt so alone and abandoned. To make matters worse, I noticed that Jayant was spending a lot of money. Our savings were dwindling, and I grew increasingly worried. When I asked him about it, he brushed me off, saying, "Don't worry about it. I'll handle it." But I couldn't ignore my suspicions. I checked our bank account and discovered that he had been spending money on expensive gifts and dining at fancy restaurants. I knew he was spending it on Ritu. Meanwhile, we barely had enough money for our children's needs and the apartment expenses. Jayant didn't seem to care. His only priority was his girlfriend. The stress of everything started to take a toll on my health. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, and I felt exhausted all the time. I went to the doctor, who told me, "You need to rest. You're too stressed." But how could I rest when my life was falling apart? My husband was cheating on me, our finances were a mess, and I felt like I had no control over my own life. I confided in my best friend, Neha, about my struggles. She suggested, "Maybe you should leave Jayant." But I feel stuck. I can't leave him because I don't have a job, and I can't take care of the children on my own. My family has told me to be strong and hope that Jayant will change, but I'm not sure if that will ever happen. I'm afraid he will always choose Ritu over us. Despite everything, I still love Jayant. I want him to come back to our family, to remember the life we built together. I want him to leave Ritu and be the husband and father he used to be. But I don't know if that will ever happen. I feel lost, like I'm in a dark place with no way out. Every day is a struggle, and I don't know how much longer I can endure this pain.
I hope my story gives someone hope. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share.